Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got another pickups video for you here. A lot of interesting stuff happened with this particular pickup. A lot of unusual kind of things, so I'll explain all that as I'm going through. I hope this doesn't get too long. I'm probably gonna have to start slowing down on my thrifting a little bit here because I'm spending quite a bit of cash on it until I can sort of trade some of these things off and get some cash back or use them for trades. And I might have to slow down the pace a little bit. It's a little hard on the wallet. But the first thing that I picked up today was this GameCube power pack. One of the GameCubes that I own does not have a power pack, so I bought this one. It's always good to have these two in case they fizzle out or something like that. So I'll have to test this one out. I haven't really checked it out yet, but looks like it should work. So pretty happy to pick this guy up. The next thing that I picked up was a couple of PlayStation games, which are not really PlayStation games. Well, one of them is not really a PlayStation game. And the game is Motor Racer 2. This is the one that isn't Motor Racer 2. Inside it actually had Blade 2 for PlayStation 2. So I wasn't really trying to have that happen. I just completely forgot to check this disc out when I bought it, or I probably wouldn't have. Because now I have a loose game and I have a case with no disc. So, you know, worst comes to worst, at least I can do something with it, but you know, that kind of thing. The next one I picked up, and this is the actual game that's in here, is Need for Speed High Stakes. And I don't know if I mentioned for the last one, I paid $250 for that one. I also paid $250 for this one. And the disc is in pretty decent shape. It's got some swirling and stuff like that on it, but it's not gouged or anything, so that's pretty cool right there. I also picked up a few systems at the Goodwill. I've never seen so many systems in my life, actually. I don't know if one person dropped all this stuff off or what, but the first system that I picked up, and this one is for trade, and I'll definitely clean this, so I'm showing it to you in the nasty condition that I picked it up in, but I will clean this before I send this to anyone because it's kind of gross, but nothing that can't be cleaned up. There are a few like surface scratches on it, but it's nothing horrible. And it's this N64 right here. I did fire this one up, it does work. I paid $15 for it. It does not have an expansion pack in it. I don't know if 15 bucks is worth it. It did have the power pack on it, but I know sometimes people have a hard time finding these because in their communities or things like that, people are charging outrageous prices for them. So I'm gonna put this one out for trade. If someone's interested in this, you know, message me kind of thing, and I'll figure something out for you. It doesn't come with any controllers. There was a controller there, but it was so beat up it wasn't worth it. Whereas this is in perfect working order. Another thing that I have for trade as well, and I got today from the Goodwill, are these two PlayStation Slims. So these were not listed, I should say. They were priced at $6 each. And so I bought them both on, like, you know, PlayStation 2s. I did check them out at the store to see if they would power on, and they did. So, you know, I'm not totally sure if they work 100%, but I do know they power on, so I'm pretty happy with that. They're different model numbers, actually. If you take a look at the back, you can actually see the difference between them. One has venting holes over here, whereas the other one does not. And this one has for a line, I think for like a telephone line, whereas this one only has one for a network cable. So let's just see here. There's a difference in them. This one here says it's model number 70011, and this one's 79001. So I think this one is probably the newer version of it because they ditched all the extra stuff. Not really certain though about that, so you can let me know. Yeah, anyways, two PlayStations though, priced for $6 each. Bad things sort of happened with it, not too happy about that, although it worked out in my favor. But when I put these on the counter, I had all that other stuff sitting there, and a whole bunch of more things that I'm about to show you. It all basically came from this same Goodwill, and I put them down, and she rang it in, and I didn't really pay attention to what she was doing. I probably should have been, because she rang in like the $6, and I think she thought that this was one system, and she didn't realize there were two of them sitting there, so she didn't charge me for one of them. So I ended up paying like $3 each, if you look at it that way. Not super happy about it. I like to be honest with my stuff, you know. I'm not trying to scam anyone, or I don't do like sticker swapping and things like that. So I'm kind of a little bit bummed that she didn't notice that, but you know, maybe when I go in there next time, I'll just like throw them $6 and say, hey, look, this is what happened last time. I don't know what you would do in that circumstance, but it's probably something I'll end up doing if I remember to do it. One of them came, well, they both came with power packs, but I actually needed one of this because the one I have has a third-party power pack, so I'm pretty happy to get the Sony branded one. It seems like a little more substantial in weight and, you know, just overall usefulness. Not that there's anything wrong with the third-party one, it still works perfectly fine, but just happy to get an official one to go with my system that I'm keeping. So those two systems are up for trade, and it'll come with that. One of them will come with a third-party power pack. If you need a replacement or something for yours, those ones might be up. I gotta clean them up a bit. They are not, you know, in impeccable condition or anything like that. There is some scratching, but if you're cosmetically not too concerned about it, contact me. I haven't fully tested these yet to put like a game in, see if they work, that kind of thing. So, you know, I will test these before we make a deal kind of thing, and just make sure that they do work. The next thing I wanted to show you is a game that I picked up. Again, this is a wrong case situation. So on the outside it says Fusion Frenzy, and on the inside you have the Fusion Frenzy manual, but the game is not Fusion Frenzy, it's Super Monkey Ball Deluxe for Xbox. So pretty happy to get that game. I noticed this actually at the time. I paid $2.50 for this, by the way, but I noticed it at the time that it was the wrong game in the case, and I looked around for the real case, but it wasn't there. So just happy to get my hands on Super Monkey Ball. Seems like a really fun game. I haven't really had a whole lot of time to play it. Another game was this one right here, the Shadow of the Colossus. Interestingly enough, with this, if you know anything about Canada, we have bilingual rules here. So when something is packaged here, it has to have French and English on it, in case you're not aware of that. So you can see that this one has like the French and English on it, but it was actually originally packed in this like really cheap kind of plastic that they put over it. So it has this French manual as well there. But then inside of that, there was the US version of PlayStation 2 game. So I guess this was in the US and then repackaged for distribution in Canada. So they just sort of wrapped that around the outside of it in case, so that they could sell this. So this is actually a sealed copy though, like officially sealed copy of Shadow of the Colossus. I do have this game already. I'll probably trade off my used version of it for this one. I'll open this one up and put it on my shelf kind of deal. But pretty happy to pick this one up, and this is a pretty epically good title from my understanding of, games for PlayStation 2. The next one, and I'll show you some video of this in a second, was a Faceless N64 game, so it has no stickers on it at all. Funny thing about this is when I walked in, there were 3 games in the glass case, and there was another gentleman standing there, and he was looking at them. So just as I was walking up to the glass case, right as I saw them, he mentioned to the lady that was working the counter if he could look at them, and I was like, oh man, he's gonna take all those games and I'm gonna be out of luck. I couldn't really see what titles were there, especially on this one. So, he kind of looked through them and he picked out one, and I believe it was I think it was some sort of Star Wars game. It was really hard to tell because the label was beat up. It might have been like Shadow of the Empire or something like that. Don't really know for sure because the label was really chopped up, and like obviously he had it in his hand, so I had to kind of look at it from afar. There was also NFL Blitz 2000, something that again I couldn't tell from the label, but I'm not really interested in that game for my collection. But I took a chance on this Faceless game, so I paid $2.50. And it's kind of funny because the guy turned it down, he didn't want it. He kind of, you know, looked at it and said, well, it doesn't have a label on it, I don't know what it is, so I'm not really interested. But when the lady was about to put them back in, I said, you know what, I'll take a look at those too. So I looked at the game that was left, and then this one right here, and I said, you know what, it's Faceless, but I'll take a chance on it. And the guy kind of laughed about that because he thought it was sort of funny that I'd buy a game with no label on it. But I'm really glad I did, because here's the video of me checking out what this game was.
Alright, so here's that Faceless game I paid $2.50 for, and you can see it's pretty nasty looking. But we're gonna fire this baby up and just see what we get out of it. So I'd say pretty good score overall with that one.
Mario Kart 64 for the N64 was this Faceless game. So happy to get my hands on that for $2.50. I know it's probably like a $20, $25 game, especially on a place like eBay. I know it has no label, so it's definitely not worth $25, but to have that title in my collection when I didn't have it already is pretty awesome. So, you know, sometimes when you gamble, you win too. The next thing I'll show you is from just a regular store. It's from Toys R Us. A while back, if you've been watching my videos or keeping up with the different videos that I've been putting up, there was an episode in which I picked up Disney Infinity from a guy off of Kijiji, and I got the 360 version and the PS3 version of it, which I haven't really been collecting for, and I've seen tons of figurines out, I just really haven't been picking them up. But while I was at Toys R Us today, I was looking for Skylanders. I was looking for Skylanders Giants, not Giants, rather the Legendary packs, the Toys R Us exclusives. They weren't in the store, which is kind of bothering me because I know they're not going to be selling them pretty soon. The lady said she hadn't seen them for quite some time, so I'm really concerned I might not be able to get my hands on them at a reasonable price. I'm going to have to buy it from one of these reseller kind of guys, and I really don't want to do that. Not because I'm cheap, it's just because they're just jacking up the prices on these things. Ridiculous, because you know people want to get their hands on it. I might have to resort to that. I'm hoping I don't, so if you can help me out in that regard, let me know. But while I was there, back to the Disney Infinity thing, I did pick up a character for it, because it is a Toys R Us exclusive, which is this version of Lightning McQueen, but it's the Piston Cup Championship version, Toys R Us exclusive. So there you go there. He's kind of almost like see-through plastic. Really good detailing and things like that on it. I'm really impressed with these figurines, like the Skylanders ones and these Disney Infinity ones. They're so cool looking. I'm gonna have a hard time not collecting for this. But it's just so expensive to pick up all these figurines. Like, I think this one is, I'm trying to remember exactly what I paid. I think it was like $13, something like that for one figurine. So that's pretty pricey when you consider the number of figurines are in there. I also picked up some of the power discs. Now, if you don't know how these work, they basically go underneath the character and onto the game portal when you're playing the game, and it gives your character like special power-ups. And basically these are collectible. The way that they work is, I think some of them are rare or whatever, and you're basically trying to buy as many of the packs as possible to complete the collection. I'm probably not going to do that. That sounds like a total sucker plan to me. Sounds like, you know, like trying to buy magic cards, stuff like that out of those little packs. And you're like, you never know what you're gonna get, so you have to buy a million of them in order to get what you want to do, or you gotta trade with people. And I don't know anybody else that has this game, just because it's generally for little kids. So, you know, I bought a few packs for them. Anyways, the first ones that I bought were standard packs, and I don't know exactly what these do, because I'm not so knowledgeable. I'm more knowledgeable about Skylanders. I'm definitely not knowledgeable about Disney Infinity. But the first one is this, who is that, princess or something of some sort? I don't know. But anyways, I don't know what her power is, but I got that one. I know this gentleman here is from Up, but I do not know what his name is. He's the old geezer. So I don't know what his old geezer power is, but something like that. The next one is, and I might be wrong, but I think it's Mulan or something like that. I'm not really sure. You could tell me. I haven't seen this movie, but again, don't know what that power is. Don't really know what the powers for any of these are. But the next one is Bolt. Pretty sure that's the name of it. I'm not entirely certain what that one does either, but we'll see. And then I also picked up, and these two, and I believe that's why they're orange, are from the Toys R Us exclusive pack that I bought. So you only need to buy one of these packs because they're not random, they're these two discs. So you only need to buy one. But the first one, and it's really kind of cool, it has, I don't know if you can see that, but it has that, you know, like effect. Don't know what it's called. You can see how the lights come and turn on and off. So it's pretty cool. It's like Mike's car, I think this one's called. But pretty cool, I'll have to check that out. And then finally the last one is that Aladdin? Maybe it's Aladdin with some elephant, not really certain. But again, it's also one of those like, I don't know if it's holographic or what do you call it, where you flip it and the light changes the view of it. So kind of neat anyways. So those two, you know, are pretty interesting. Again, Toys R Us exclusive, so I thought I'd pick them up. Okay, so those are all my pickups from today. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I do have a very special shout out for TimeTeam 1982. This is a guy who is a fellow YouTuber. He put together a couple videos and he put a shout out to me in his video, and I really appreciate that. Right now my subscriber count's up to 26, and I think that's due in part to, you know, him putting me in one of his videos. So I really appreciate that, man. TimeTeam 1982, you rule, buddy. My subscriber count I think has doubled in the last week, and it's probably due in part to you. So if you are a new subscriber and you sort of piggyback from his site or his channel to mine, so that's how you found me, just comment down below and let me know that that's how you found this place, so I can thank him even more, because it really helps out when people are supporting, you know, my videos and things like that. As far as the rest of it goes, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any comments, make sure you comment down below. If you have not subscribed yet, please do, and please thumbs up this video as well. It really helps out a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all later.